Evening all. Another late game here because we are playing an Oklahoman, Tony Rocket Science. This is the Shackleton Reddit Twilight Struggle League. First bit, good luck of the draw. I am playing as the USSR and he's USA. He's significantly better than me, but he's played far fewer games as the USA. So I might as well count my blessings where I get them. And I was drawn D-Col and D-Star, which is lovely. 4-4-1 opening, fine. Yeah, I mean, that's a great first hand. Can't really complain. 4-4-1 opening, fine. Yeah. Asking the tough questions. Is he an actual rocket scientist? Okay, so obvious opening headline would be maybe Vietnam revolts and then slamming. He does work for NASA. So yeah, open Vietnam revolt, slam 4 into Thailand with duck and cover. Event independent Reds before Romanian abdication, but then use the Romanian abdication. That's assuming I event it, actually. I was assuming I would event Romanian abdication to use the D-style ops. So maybe I won't. Yeah. Anyway, Vietnam revolts is the obvious opening headline, because I don't want to be defected, so D-Col would be very bad. Vietnam revolts being defected would be a bummer. So he's likely holding socialist governments. Yeah, claiming dice roll modifiers because you work for NASA seems a bit churlish. Yeah, Vietnam revolts, right? There's no other. You don't want to headline D-Col or D-Style. And if it gets defected, it gets defected. Oh, and I get a sneaky domination as well. Bonus! That's lovely. Can't complain about that. So, yeah. So now, because I've already got Asia domination, Asia's going, and I can drop DEFCON to 3 using duck and cover, the obvious thing is a coup of Europe with duck and cover, which will give back 2 VPs, but is worth a try. 50% chance of cleaning him out. And it works. Bonus. Okay, so he now has to play into France. Which he will do now. Yep. So that makes Suez and de Gaulle attractive. He has made my life rather difficult. So I'll put 1 in Italy and 1 in Thailand and trigger independent Reds. Now, he may put 3 into Thailand, but obviously with Vietnam revolts, I can do a little more damage. So I need to remember to overprotect Italy before the end of the turn, obviously, because I want to get Truman out of Italy. And I need to make sure I get presence in the Middle East before the end of the turn. Containment AR6. So I'm probably holding D-Style, trying to headline D-Col. Trying to event D-Col, sorry. So he didn't headline Red Scare. He headlined Asia scoring. I'm not sure that was a glorious decision. So he's taken Asia, fine. Obviously, I can event decol at some point. First, I'm going to take another coup. That one failed. So I'll get my Millops this turn. So AR4 event decol. 5 use an opt for Romanian abdication to get presence in Lebanon. Well, I'll do that first, maybe. Getting presence in the Middle East is key. So he did have SocGov, obviously. So he got to Lebanon first. That's fine. Get presence in Syria. Step 1. Event decol. Step 2. Containment AR. AR6. I need to overprotect Italy. Okay. Place of Burma. In spaces Arab Israel. And succeeds. There's that NASA bonus. So I'm going to be very risk averse and put 2 into Italy. Put another one into Algeria. So Middle East isn't in great shape. And with duck and cover and NASA, he's managed to pull it back a wee bit. But Europe should score me at least one. One's not superior. But with getting decol out to Africa and being able, in theory, to destyle to South America, cheers me. 4 ops to finish. Yeah, cleaning up the Middle East. That's 5-year plan gone. So I don't get Middle Eastern scoring. Suez is attractive, but doesn't give me domination. And also doesn't give me a coup. So I think captured Nazi, especially as there's a risk of it being defected. And I'll get an opportunity to play Europe scoring. I ideally want to push for domination, but it's going to be hard, because obviously he can race me with Canada. I'm basically saying Greece, Turkey, possibly judicious eventing of Suez crisis. It's going to be tough. And I'll be using one of my 3-up cards to coup Libya. Or if Middle East scoring comes out, Panama. Shame I didn't have a DEFCON dropper. But he knew that. Olympic Games, gone into Nazi will be gone. So obviously participate. Don't want to give him 4 ops. Yes, I know I'm giving him 1.25 VPs, but there you go. USA gets the role, of course, that's fine, and I get Captain Nazi, fine. So Warsaw Pact coup on Libya. Clears him out, but does nothing more. So he repairs the damage. And he'll be able to go 4-2 in the Middle East with Israel. But first he blockades. He blockades the Gaul. Pushes into Burma. So the question is whether I give up the China card like that and try and hold Indo-Pakistani war. The issue is that I'll be eventing Formosa, so he can go 4-3 anyway. And I'm not sparing ops for ops warring in Europe. So maybe I let him play into India and event Indo-Pakistani warring, hoping for a 50-50 flip. And do I use D-Style to push into Libya to level up the Middle East? If I use 4 D-Style, 1 Vietnam, Finland, Austria, and maybe 1 out of Poland, is Eastern European unrest gone? No. Tough options. Now let's event it. 1 out of Italy, Austria, Finland, and Vietnam. And we go Chile, Venezuela, 2 in Libya. I mean, I could have pushed into Tunisia, but it gives him a coup target. And I've still got time to consolidate in Venezuela and Chile. At this point, I think I accept the inevitability that I'll be dropping Europe scoring for 1. I think, yeah, nuclear test ban and Marshall Plan are yet to come out. We've seen the other 4 offers. Oh no, NATO's not out yet. Blimey. There's a lot of 4-op cards left, so I do need to overprotect Italy again. Which I can do with Truman, amongst others. Okay, so we use Suez. To put pressure in the Middle East, which I may need to convert with Indo-Pak and Formosa. And I want to try and avoid getting realigned out of Chile and Venezuela, but obviously that's -1. considering I grabbed a sneaky Asia domination, Asia's not looking all that hot. Middle Eastern scoring isn't coming this turn, it doesn't look like. So I've got time to work on that. Yeah, okay, so he's now looking to go 3-3 in the Middle East. And I'm giving up Asia for the time being. Triggers Fidel. Ah, clever. He's going for the sneaky realign. So he'll be at +1 for the realign, thanks to Nicaragua, and it provides a coup target for counter-coupping. That's a good use of an op. Another reason to push into Costa Rica as soon as possible. And I've not left myself time to overprotect Italy. But he may be less inclined with Truman Doctrine. Gone. So smooth. Cambridge 5, he's not holding Middle East scoring. But he has at least punched it so that if he gets it for the headline, obviously that just means that I then have to event Nasser if I get it. So I only drop Europe scoring for the single VP. Not great. Holding Indo-Pakistani war. D-Styles gone. Gone. Defectors hasn't gone. So he does go for the realign with Fidel. I only lose 1, could be worse. And the Middle East is even. So he gets Middle East scoring, which he'll be looking to drop on the headline, because he knows I can do nothing about it, unless he's got something fancier to do. So Nasser goes. He is holding Comecon, Middle East scoring. I've got NATO. He's got Marshall Plan, which he may event, because obviously there's a lot still to be done there. I've got Eastern European unrest, so I can space it. And I've got nuclear test ban, so I'm deliciously ops rich. And I have defectors. So what's my most appealing headline? Arab-Israeli war is a 1 in 6 die roll. Because Israel and Lebanon are controlled. But if he headlines Middle East scoring, it flips it, so it's a good 1 in 6. He goes with Marshall Plan, so he's making absolutely certain I can't get Europe domination. So Italy's vulnerable to brush war. Fails. And NATO's now in play as well, of course. That makes special relationship more attractive. That's a good reason to headline Marshall Plan, because he knew I was holding NATO. So, just goes to show he's thinking on a much higher level than I am at 11 o'clock at night. So, options. I can coup in the Middle East, thereby... If I coup in the Middle East, he can just put 3 ops into the other place to level up. Whereas, if I spend the ops, he gets the mill ops, and he gets to coup somewhere else on the map. So it's probably still worth cooing, on balance. And he has to respond in Egypt. And obviously with Nasser evented, Egypt's not as attractive as it was. With special relationship gone, I can by all means trigger NATO but special relationship will return. So you might get 2 to 4 VPs worth of benefit from that. I'm ideally looking to space East European unrest and NORAD, and of course I'm holding CIA, so I can't play the China card. I'd love to tempt him into, but he now knows I'm holding IPW, of course, which is a reason to take India and threaten South Korea. Let's see what he does. He'll take Egypt, one assumes. Right, independent Reds is gone, so Czechoslovakia and Austria for adjacency, I guess. So I expect to see him put 3 into Egypt. So options for the rest of the turn. I can continue to tap the Middle East until he gives up. I don't know why I marked effect, because I'm holding it. We just don't know what his other cards are, so I can keep tapping away at them. Comme ça. And then again with NATO, again with defectors, again, but then I'm not shoring up South America. So I also need to do that. So maybe a war on 2 fronts. Like that. Continue to make his life difficult in the Middle East so he can't drop it cheap. Whilst doing other things. See how this comes off. And it obviously depends what other cards you got in the reshuffle. He may be able to do multiple things. Well, that's nice. Right, let's strip his adjacency from Turkey and Greece and bring West Germany down 1. Yeah, okay, so he starts to shore up his bit of Africa. That looks threatening, but is kind of bland. Now I've artifacted, of course, because the play deck's rubbish. I really don't want to event NORAD. So the question is if I just keep causing mischief. That's not going to help when Voice of America comes out. That doesn't claim Europe domination. I suppose I can keep tapping it until he overprotects. So let's keep causing him mischief rather than developing my own position, because I am... What am I vulnerable to? Vulnerable to Voice of America. And I need to think about that at some point. least I'm not going to get defected in mid-war. Oh, he had Europe scoring, darn it. Let's play NATO now. Oh, well, I probably couldn't have done more there. It wins, that's a bonus for me. So I'll probably use Indo-Pakistani War to take South Korea instead. Since I don't fancy a... Although, where's NORAD gonna do me a lot of damage? The Middle East. Might prevent NORAD. Let's give him the China card and level up Asia until Taiwan gets played. I'm not sure that's best. You can let me know what you think. Giving over the China card while holding CIA is probably very risky. He ditches Middle East scoring, which is fine for me. So let's space NORAD. Okay, so I go into mid-war in a fairly healthy position. The old nuclear sub-CIA gambit is good. Missile envy is risky because of DEFCON droppers. Headlining duck and cover kind of sucks. Nuclear subs and then 5-year planning CIA is quite nice. 1, 2, headline 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. So let's commence with Indo-Pakistani War for Milops and the 1 in 3 flip. Then coup, then arms race, space duck and cover. If we will bury you goes, I can use missile envy. That's a vague plan for the turn. It can only be ruined by grain sales. Just double checking the card list. NATO 1 in 3. I prevented it, in fact, so it's gone. Yeah, okay. Let's headline Indo-Pakistani War from that lot. He's asked nothing, so probably going to see lone gunmen and some scoring cards go here. If I see South America and Africa scoring go, I'll be a little vexed. Well, there goes Africa. Oh, all red, baby. All red. That fails too. Right, so mark what goes. Cambridge 5. We will bury you's gone. Cultural Revolution went. Cambridge 5 went. Africa, Muslim, Willie. Africa. Muslim and Willie. Blimey. So I will coup Panama with U2. It fails. Arms race, space duck and cover. Missile envy usually pulls flower power, nuclear subs to ditch CIA. I need to be mindful that grain sales still screws all this up. Of course, I can see a glorious situation where he grain sales, pulls 5-year plan, events it, and pulls duck and cover for DEFCON victory for me. Or pulls CIN, takes it out of my list of problems. But at this point, yeah, I'm not going to be racing to 20 points. Ah, VOA, so there goes South America. Let's start by spacing duck and cover. And it fails. Things get better and better. And when our flower power's gone and he's invented it, it actually makes missile envy more attractive. So let's first give him the 2 VP with Nixon. And maybe missile envy will be a counter coup on Nicaragua or Haiti. At least that makes brush war more disgusting for him, but Southeast Asia scoring is getting him plenty. I also kind of need to take Taiwan, which I might do as 5-year plan, to prevent losing Asia 4-3. Ugh, ABM. What a delight. All coming up roses for him. So now's the time to event arms race. Before I don't get 3 VP for it. Oh, nice big cash for him there. He's pairing me back. He's done well with VOA and so on. Let's event missile envy. We will bury use gone, so there's no risk of me DEFCON suiciding. Well, unless he's only got Summit, he wins the roll or something weird like that. We may only be swapping a 2 for a 2, but at least it ruins his tempo. And if he's got Quagmire, he's got to throw missile envy to it, and he may get stuck. Or you may have Salt, and I can do something weird. Down to Ghoul's fine. He'll probably use missile envy here to repair. Yep. So use nuclear subs to coup Nicaragua. That's alright. And then CIA. AR7. South America scores for 0. I'm going to use 5-year plan to take Taiwan and give him 1 off coup. With nuclear subs, because there's not that many scoring cards now left to come out that really make my heart quail. And it gets CIA out the deck. So he's done really well there. It could have been 16 or 17, and South America and Africa were in great shape. He's now got control of Africa. Well, I know it's not coming back to about turn 7. So we've got South Africa unrest and Portuguese Empire collapses, etc. And I get coups where he doesn't drop DEFCON. Okay. Pump North Korea? Oh, South Korea. You like that? So Junta looks attractive. Alliance for Progress if I can coup Panama. I could even UN intervention kitchen debates if I want. The nice thing about Junta coup is that I can then retake North Korea or do something with OPEC. Junta's got to be the headline here. And I get purged. Lovely. Kelsapries. So let's give him 1 VP for Alliance for Progress and shore up Central America. Coup war on Guatemala seems quite likely. Maybe Haiti, but Nicaragua's so strong. If it's a weak coup of Guatemala, I probably just use UN intervention on kitchen debates to put it back in the deck, rather than hand over 2 VP for an alt. If it's a strong coup, I coup with Che, I guess, and hope for the best. Although Che's still off value of the card, yeah, so it's still a 2-off coup thanks to Purge. If he does something incredibly weak, I could always coup event Brezhnev Doctrine. So he takes. That's fairly expected. I mean, I can always use the China card to flip Pakistan later on. Oh yes, Asia scoring yet to come out. Headline, event Brezhnev, AR2. Put myself back in the box seat. If Asia scoring doesn't drop now, I use the China card to flip Pakistan. Or with US-Japan gone, I could always pump Japan and get adjacency points. Although you could salt Japan. Okay, so he goes to space. Hope he fails. Yeah, that's good. No, I won't be bold. I need to take Afghanistan and Burma against Indo-Pak war. Oof. Is Syria doing its worst? Necessitates a bit of repair work, which I hope to finish next AR. So I'll probably hold UN intervention and kitchen debates, and I probably want to event OPEC for 3 BP. You did have salt. Getting hairy. I'm hoping he doesn't have another 4-op card. AR5. Yep, he drops Asia's scoring to 0. Could be worse. I will continue to shore up. Will I? Yeah. Don't want to leave myself a mark. But I'll probably AR7 UN intervention kitchen debates to clean my hand up. I'm not sure I'm playing this perfectly, but I'm very fatigued. Playing these 11 o'clock games is pretty bloody stupid if you think about it. I like the coup with omit. And now I UN intervention kitchen debates coup counter. And hope for the best. Clean out my hand. Not a 1. Perfect. That'll do. So obviously Pakistan getting flipped or North Korea getting pumped by China is likely, but obviously the card's not coming back till turn 7-ish. Central America becomes our focus. The event's John Paul, of course. I need to do something about that next turn. But Warsaw Pact hasn't been yet, so that's handy. I get grain sales. I get brush war. Brush war on Panama is the obvious headline. And I will do it in a heartbeat. If brush war fails on Panama, the coup on Panama with Suez Crisis is my next step. And I do need to protect Pakistan, protect Poland. If he drops DEFCON, to some extent that works in my favour. So, we'll see. Arms Racing 4. Haven't seen Quagmire. Haven't seen Somewhat How I Learned. I use Kitchen Debates and Miss MMB. Okay, so he's going old school. Let's go for Panama. Success is good. So, offer him the coup, I guess. And I need to take on Poland after the coup. I need space grain sales. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, which means colonial rear guards, possibly. Well, at least it forced him to coup with the China card. Okay, so OPEC's no longer worth as much as trying to take outright control. So I give up 3 VP for OPEC for, ideally, presence-less control in Mexico. How I learned to protect Poland. Need space grain sales. I've got 1 op with Allende, but I want Allende for access. To be honest, I play Colonial Rearguards AR7 because Africa and Asia are such a mess. He has to be responding. If he doesn't hold Central America scoring, he has to assume I do, especially as we're in turn 6. Okay, so he spaces Lib C. He doesn't get there, which is a bonus for me. So, before I take my space, I will shore up Poland. If I press the right button in the right place, I will shore up Poland. Space grain sails, use Camp David to repair damage, use Colonial Rearguards to repair damage. Ideally, event Allende to get back into South America until he draws Voice of America AR7 at turn 7 and undoes all that. But we'll see. Panama Canal returned is also okay, so eventing obviously for the VP. That's fine, makes sense. Space grain sails. I don't get the VP either, but then it stops him once more stepping me, so your mileage may vary. He gives up on it. 10 fat points. So Allende can now be evented for access. He obviously figured he was up against it there. Okay, so I need to dodge Africa scoring. Turn 7. Okay, so he now moves to South America. Yeah, so I'll use Camp David. And I'll put the other one in Argentina, because the Middle East is kind of neutral. Oh yeah, shuttle diplomacy is still a big risk for the Middle East and Asia. I played that in turn 5. I'm not tracking cards, great. I played that. No, it's okay, fine, I'm back up to date. Haven't seen Lone Gunman yet. Okay, so he doesn't event shuttle diplomacy. That works well for me in the Middle East. So event Colonial Rearguards first, and then repair what damage there is, but there's not going to be any damage because he can't do any damage in the areas that I'm suffering in badly anyway. So, what do I do with the 2 ops? I could overprotect Panama and Mexico in the hopes of getting although he can only break really there, so it's enough points to put me over the top. Overprotecting Poland, I suppose, is the next best thing. Let's do that. I mean, Warsaw Pact may still come to the rescue, so we'll see. Central America in the reshuffle scoring would be glorious, but overly optimistic probably. Yeah, I definitely played that. Right. We are still to see Quagmire, Summit, Lone Gunman, Panama Canal returned, and Sadat. Okay, so he's holding Lone Gunman. That's good. Let's mark these because it becomes relevant. He's also holding Quagmire, so purging him is attractive because I'm holding defectors. So he's holding Quagmire, I've got Summit, he's got Lone Gunman. So he may Quag himself. I've got Panama Canal returned. He's got Latin American Death Squads. I've got Sadat. Not that it matters a lot. Okay. So holding defectors, Red Scare Purge looks quite nice. If he missile envys me, he'll get ABM. And if he missile envys me and I play ABM and he purges me, I can still space stuff and cover, and I've got a whole bunch of one-off cards. So actually ABM Treaty looks like the more attractive play. Okay, so I'll take a coup on Which one? Which one? Brazil. Which is nice. And then I'll take a coup on Africa. So he's looking at lone gunmen. We each got ABM once, that's a start. So he's going for the space points, and he misses. So I will likewise try for them. And I miss. So what's my path? War games is attractive. Oh, so he's quagmiring himself. Okay, so now's a good time to purge him. You never know. Make his life slightly more difficult. Oh, man. I'm going to get my ass realigned out of Brazil. I knew with Latin American Discords that was a chance, but that's why I took the 4 off option. Ugh. Oh, and he's got brush as well. At least I get flower power points. Nigeria? Oh no, he flipped Europe. Big score. That's well played by him. That's what you want to use Brush War for. I never really saw a window to shore it up. It's just the luck of the draw. Yeah, straight back in. Can't do a lot about that. Oh, no, 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 silly, silly, silly. Yes, the one in Panama can now return. Goes into Panama. No doy. Yes, I'm expecting to get my ass realigned out of Brazil toot sweet in these last 2 ARs. I used Summit to overtake North Korea, and I've handed back the China card for the umpteenth time this game. Okay, so my route to victory is now trickier, because Europe is no longer +1 for me, it's -5. So that's a 6 VP swing, 7 including Brush War, less than 2, so it's a 5 VP swing, which is not good. I'd like another coup on, I don't know. Africa, I guess. I don't know, I guess it depends how the scoring cards drop, and whether or not I pull war games before or after we go under the war games threshold. But it's not glorious. The self-quag was a bonus for me. But alas, I didn't convert heavily, especially as you would have had to throw Brush War afterwards, which would have been a bloody delight. There you go. Can't win them all. Oh no, he had U2 as well. Okay, he's got presence in Central America. He's got domination in Africa. So he's doing alright. He's doing all the right things. He's a mover and a shaker. Okay. So breaking one of Mexico or Panama is probably the best move here for him. Or breaking one of Iraq or Saudi Arabia to level the Middle East. Let's see what he does. Okay. Yes, that's also another way to level the Middle East. Central America scoring, please. That'd be very nice. I don't get it. Terrorism to pull anything but lone gunmen, I guess. Or Iran-Iraq war first. And I can try and pull something later on. Yeah, let's go Iran-Iraq war, while Iran is unattractive to him. And then I take a coup on Argentina, I guess. Okay, he gets Africa scoring for Dom. Let's see what else I can do. I can fail there, which is a glorious start. That could be worse. So I'm spacing Voice of America. Need to pull terrorism on him at some point, but he'll just use the China card. I can see him reeling himself back in here. Europe scoring, South America domination with a realignment. Yada, yada, yada. Boom, boom, boom. Good night, Vienna. So, War Games is still something I need to crack on with. I'm now protected against tear down this wall in East Germany. And Solidarity in Poland. That's something. I might use the Sadat op to overprotect India at some point, or one small step. Yeah, okay. Let's take the opportunity to be the first to space. And it fails. Ye gods. I'm not feeling comfortable here. He's sticking in it well. He doesn't get it off either. Yeesh. Time to terrorize. Ah. You should now use the China card, which you may use to pump India, of course, which would be problematic. So there we go. He may have Aldrich, in which case he's not sweating. In which case he may hold the China card, and he may just give me AR6 and AR7, in which case I tap from. Hands over the China card straight away. And, yeah, pumps India. Okay, that was to be expected. So, War Games is gone. Salting it's a possibility. Oh, man. He's got a lot of ops. He is ops for rich. And he now gets domination, which is glorious for him. So let's start pushing Japan. Okay. Things are going bandy. Righting the wagon will be tough. Avoiding scoring cards and salting war games is almost my only option. It's a bit gross. And he's got you an intervention. So bye-bye, Lee. He takes a coup for Millops. Okay, that's fine. Put one straight back in. He'll take another coup. So, DEFCON's not going to win it for me. VP's looking shaky. Iranian hostage crisis could possibly flip Middle East for my favour, at least. No. That's nicely done by him. We should take a QAR7 for Millops. But now Asia is much more attractive here, unless I can pull Indo-Pakistani war and make the flip. Man. Tough game. What happens when you play better players than you? I've kept him busy, so he's not really lining me out of Brazil yet. Just checking US-Japan has not yet been replayed in the shuffle, so that's fun. Doesn't do a lot, really. Yeah. So Asia scoring is gross, but Central America is great and would end the game. So, let's sort war games. To make him think that there's a chance of that. And then hopefully drop Central America scoring to end the game, as long as he doesn't get junta. Okay, good. Game's over. Whew. That was bloody close. Ye gods. Central America scoring puts me over the top. Okay, got there with some good fortune. So thanks for watching. Let me know where I made missteps. I think I was banding the China card around like nobody's business, eh? Yeah, be happy to hear. So yes, feedback very welcome. I'm sure it was imperfect. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll upload this now.